What is good, guys? What is up, everybody? Yeah, sadly, didn't make it to Richmond. My brother lives, like, not that far from Richmond. So, like, it was, like, ideally, it was, like, perfect for me to want to, like, go to Richmond. But my accident kind of... accident put a... I'm trying to think of a smart pun to say. Put a wrench or a tire blowout in my... Whatever the case is, it did not go according to a plan. What's good, my man, Elo? How you doing, my man? Living the dream, man. Thought we'd come and we'd talk about the YCS. I thought we would discuss what had happened. Does the background music sound okay? Too loud? Elliot, okay. See, I can pronounce that way better than I can pronounce Elio. Elio actually sounds pretty cool, not gonna lie. Well, nice to meet you, Elliot. Nice to meet you. But I thought we'd like touch base. I know there's like a lot of controversy over this YCS, and I was at doctor appointments, so I like missed the live stream completely. It's kind of crazy how like you can be like in a hospital, right? Or you have like good what do you call it? Good service and don't have good service. Interesting. Well, buenos dias, amigo. Buenos dias. But anyway, there's a few things I wanted to like touch. Like we can go over anything in the stream. We can talk about. We can go and rewatch matches. I already have like the what do you call it? Let's see if I can fix the camera here. There we go. I have what do you call it? Post commentary come over. Pac's second match coming up tomorrow. But if there's any other thing like we want to like go and check out, we can go check it out. I know people want to see the Oger museum line that like, you know, that people are like, oh, it's secret, it's a coaching. I don't know if it's the same line that Giant Franco has done, but it's the line. It's the two lines that I know that you can do with Oger and museum. And one is a what do you call it? One protects you under nib, and one gives you the best ending board, but it's not exactly nib proof. So I figure once we get like enough people in here, we can do that. Let's see here. Teach me, Sir Charles. I will show you the way. I will do my best to show you the way. Again, I don't know if it's like the same like lines that Faco and like Pac and all them have done, but I will show you the lines that I know. Like I said, they're pretty. It's all right. Like it's not like exact. It's not like they're. I guess I deck build. Like I say, I trauma deck build. I deck build built on around like my experiences and my testing versus like what probably is like correct, I should say. So like, let's see here. So I will do my best to showcase. I'll wait a little bit so like more people can come in and get to see it. But what up, Bash Pack? So I kind of I don't know about that. I think he hired some of the best people that are out there because like my deck building isn't exactly optimal for like I play the way that I want to play, right? Like I take what's competitive and what's good, and I play like the way I want to play. So it's probably a good thing because I'm very biased when it comes to that stuff. So it's probably smart that he wouldn't even have to have hired me. I would have gladly done it for free. But do you think Sinful Spoils is a must now? I do not think it's a must, but I believe that it is a very powerful engine that definitely showed its strength in the deck this YCS for sure. Like I said, I don't think it's a must. I think if you're like bound by budget or like you don't like it, if you don't like the engine, you don't have to play it. But it is a very powerful engine in what it does. And actually in tomorrow's video where I go over Pac's top 4, I think. I think his top 4 or top 8. It really shows you the power that the deck has to play through stuff. So like it's definitely like if you have access to it, you should definitely play it. I'm going to, before I start handling my cards real quick, chat, I'm going to get some hand sanitizer. We just got back from eating lunch, so Can't remember if I washed my hands or not, but we're just going to go ahead and do some stuff. Like I said, I don't know exactly truly how I feel about the Sinful Spoil package. Like, I also disagree with playing one of every Infernoble name. I don't agree with that. I believe that there are some Infernobles that are like, you play one of, and I understand like the logic behind it. I've listened to the logic that they're all searchable, right? Yep, every one of them is searchable. I understand that, but there's like some, like Ogier is like the second best normal summon like you want to see in the deck. Like, I understand like, yeah, it's super searchable, but why would you like lower your consistency of seeing it? Because it plus any way to Renaud is like, and maybe I'm like tunnel visioning the whole Ogier and Renaud lines, but it is like one of the main ways the deck outside of Connector can check hand traps. So like, why wouldn't you want to like optimize your ability to see it? But so I'm still on 3 Ogier simply because when I side deck into like going second, my side deck pattern like allows me to drop the 3rd Ogier and allows me to like slim down. So it's like I said, my deck list and my deck building is built on like my personal, like how I want to do things, but I can't wait till you make Infernoble sleeves. I'm for sure buying. Sleeves are hard, man. I've been trying for a while to make some sleeves, and I actually had a lot of issues after my accident, like with my distributor, about getting mats and stuff out. So we had like just some issues pop up that I wasn't too happy with. So I'm looking at, I do have a field center in the work currently, thanks to one of my Discord members. He's a phenomenal artist, and he is working on a bomb field center. It's supposed to be another mat, but like his artwork just was so good. I was like, forget the mat, dude. Let's make this a field center. So hopefully we'll be getting that soon. He'll be doing that. But pretty much this line right here is the Ogier and Museum lines are not thank you, my man. Yeah, it's it's a blessing. I know when I got back, I streamed one day and that exhausted me. So I was like, oh gosh, I'm not even like ready to like fully be back into streaming and stuff. But now I feel pretty good. So I feel like good enough streaming and stuff like that. But so the 2-card combo essentially with Ogier and Museum, right? That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're. Let me see here. There we go. So that's what we're trying to do. And you guys want to see how it, like, it's not even like everyone knows this line, but it's like it can be done with like 1 Angelica, right? So that's what makes it important. So the way that you use it, let me go ahead and get this off real quick so I'm not clinging around. There's 2 lines, and I'll showcase both lines for sure. Now people will probably pop in later, and we'll do these 100 times, just because that's how things go. But that's okay. But the 2 lines, I'll show you guys like the Gearfried safe line, which ends on the not so strong board. But I'm not a top tier player by any means, but also not a big fan of the spoil stuff. I know some people are a big fan of it, and some people have like the same mentality. They're a really big fan of it, but they just don't like it in this deck. So it's entirely up to you. When I die / Fenrir Engine's trying it out, but I think Inferno Appear is very close, at least due to so much synergy. Oger is so good. I agree. Do you know Giant Franco? I do know Franco. Me and him have talked a little bit. We've bounced theory back and forth before. I do know he's a very intelligent Inferno player. He's devoted a lot of time and effort to it. I think we have different what's the word I'm looking for? Different views, right? But at the end of the day, you still have a very phenomenal and well thought out player. Even Judy Torres, he's in my Discord. He's an awesome guy. It's hard. So the coolest thing I liked from pack stuff was the Fenrir package side deck. Like, a lot of people don't like Connector and Dolphin going second. But like that's a perfect side out. Like, for my OCD, that's perfect. Take out those 4 cards, put those 4 cards in. Those cards do better going second. There's no debate that Fenrir going second is going to force something. And then on top of that, you get like a Rise Heart to go ahead and like start your combo lines off with. Like, potentially, like, it's pretty good. But anyway, I'll quickly showcase like the first combo here. I really am upset, chat. I really am upset. I've been like slowly upgrading. Like, I have like Collector or 25th Century Charles, 25th Century Angelica. I have I got Collectors Renauds. I have Collector Isoldes coming. I have an Ultimate Dolphin coming. But I think Museums jumped in price, and I missed them. And I should have just bought them. I should have just bit the bullet, but it's okay. It's all right. But anyway, so this typical line is like the anti-Nibiru line, right? So like you just normal summon this, you use the effect of Turpin, and you just send your Gearfried like you normally would. You then go and activate the field spell. You use the field spell's effect to go ahead and grab. You pay 12. Now, see, this is something interesting. So I know some people are like gonna like have been like really getting on pack, right? And I had this deck printed off and was testing it like the moment the Hi Charles, I'm the guy from Italy that took a look at your list to build up my own formidable list. Cheap bonuses. How are you doing? I'm doing good, man. How are you? How are you doing? How is Italy today, my man? But so you grab Durandal, and then you go like Durandal effect, you grab Renaud. Then you special Renaud grabs back Gearfried. You banish this to summon out the Gearfried. Then you go ahead and synchro here for Angelica. You go ahead and use Angelica's effect to go ahead and grab yourself another copy of the field spell, wherever it's at. There it is. Then you go ahead and like, so this is where like this line is like kind of in a way. I say it's but like you don't get to utilize the full museum. You technically could, but you're trying to play under 5 summons, right? So this is our 4th summon right here. Gearfried's negate is not live. So before you even commit to using Angelica, you want to make sure that Gearfried is like there to protect it, right? So you're going to go ahead and use the 2nd museum, pay 12 to go ahead and search yourself out. Alamus, you can search yourself out. Joyous, I still believe Joyous. Even Pack said in his video that Joyous is like probably the weakest of the noble arms. And the only reason like I actually think you should play Joyous is if you're also playing Arthur, because you like truly get to utilize Joyous's full potential while playing the Arthur package. Otherwise, it's just kind of like another name to have. But I'm doing great. My Infernoble is pushing hard, good results in my locals. In Italy, it's kind of messed right now because of the weather, but all good. That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. So you grab this, you equipped it to here, to the Gearfried. Then you go ahead and use Oger's effect to attempt to attach to her, chain her effect. You go ahead and send the Turpin, and then this will fall off. This tags out into the Roland. And then you go ahead and use Turpin's effect to special summon itself because you control here. Go ahead and go right here into Charles. You can go Roland effect to attach. And then you can link off here into Emperor Charles, and then this will equip here. So like right here is a good point to like stop. Because if you have any other extender, or any other equip spell, I should say, you're good. You can actually end on double Charles. But since we're just using Ogier and Museum, this is it. Otherwise, this is it, because this is the full board protected by Gearfried. Now, I'll show you guys the other line, which ends on way more, which ends on like tremendous more, but it's not so insulated through Gearfried. Same, I'm on Arthur and Joyous, but not DDR, pros and cons. DDR is insane. I just recommend playing it. I don't know how else to put it. Arthur and Joyous, so like here's the thing with Dempsey. People will tell you that Arthur's bad now, just play Dempsey, but they are so Arthur and Dempsey do the same thing. Let me see if I can word this correctly. Arthur does the same thing as Dempsey, but Dempsey cannot do the same thing as Arthur. And that's the reason, because Arthur's able to pick up those equips and you're able to utilize those equips to their full potential, whereas Dempsey is just a free add. But again, like since they both do the same thing, you don't have to play both of them. That's just it. Just a quick question. Is there a combo to get over Droll or Shifter? They're the most used hand traps right now. Any tips? Droll is a very easy hand trap to beat depending on your hand. If you open very good, Droll will most likely not hurt you. If you fear Droll and you know Droll is imminent, I actually recommend just using Museum first, because all the Noble Arms have a very powerful second effect. So like even if you use Noble Arms Museum, grab Durandal, and they droll you, like yeah, you can't use Durandal to search, but you can use Durandal's second effect when it's equipped. Otherwise, like there's a PAX feature match in his first hand. He went Terraforming, and his entire hand was like Rhoda, Chalice, Durandal, or like another Museum. His entire hand was so like search heavy that Droll would have killed him. But Shifter's kind of hard. You can play things such as Baguska in the extra deck to kind of like at least at the bare minimum get out Baguska and like hopefully survive through the hand trap, but Shifter of course. But I've just kind of been like, if they got it, send it. If I get, like that's just how I've always played. Like, like I'm not gonna But the extra deck is actually pretty loose for Infernobles that I believe like you could definitely fit in the Baguska if you wanted to. But anyway, so right here, if you actually want to extend further and you have another equipped in your hand, or maybe you don't have an equipped, like, but you still lose the Nib in this scenario. You use the field spell to move this, and then you can use the Almas to destroy itself, to then attach to Charles, like Joyous, and then you can go into a second Charles. But once you link this off and you go into your Charles, your entire board is open to being nibbed because there is no equip spell to stop something. So like that's why I say like I would only use this particular route if you have another equip in hand to be able to like equip to Gearfried. So like when you link off the Charles, like you're not just like opening yourself up there. But for the most part, this is the Ogier and Renaud line that gets you like protected by Nib. They're a good way to tell when to skip Isolde and just go straight for Angelica. You know, I honestly still struggle with that, Alex. Because like, so right, what makes this deck super insane right now is, so that's the first line, guys. I'll quickly go here and I'll show you guys the second line, which is like completely insane. It's just really hard to decide for me because like, you gotta like, the best card in the deck, or like what has made this like deck like almost unbeatable, like, and I say unbeatable very loosely, but is Angel's Ring. And if you don't go into Isolde, unless you hard open Angel's Ring, you don't get access to it. I already saw a deck list of an Infernoble mixed with 6 Samurai. Oh my. So like it's interesting. So this combo is Ogier plus Museum. It ends you on the full board. I'm gonna do my very best to try and remember it. If worst case, I think I have it in my notes written down from a long time ago when I had to sit through and did it. So this combo line ends you on double Charles, SP, Gearfried, and Angel's Ring. You can potentially end on, I think, something else if you send Phoenix Blade, not Angel's Ring. 9 hand traps are 12. 12 does brick sometimes, but 9 feels too little. That's like, see, that's where I agree with you. I believe 12 is too many because if you look at some of the footage from pack stuff, he was always drawing into hand traps when if he was drawing into extenders, stuff like that would be good. But I don't know. What do you think about to play just one of each in the main, one really not? I am not a big fan of it, Edgar. I really am not. Under the logic behind it that was put forward through Franco was that every Infernoble name is a normal summon, and they're all incredibly searchable. 3 Chalice, 2 to 3 Durandal, 3 Museum. You have multiple ways to get to those cards, but I just think that the deck has like a lot going for it in the sense of Ogier plus Renaud is literally the best 2-card combo the deck really like has to play through Disruption because you put up Gearfried before your 5th. So you want to optimize your ability to see that combo if you don't open Connector. So then by reducing them all down to 1 names, even though you're like reducing them down to like a certain percentage. I know some people play 2 Ogier, and that's because they're on like the 5 normal summon because you have the 3 Dolphin and the 2 Ogiers, like the normal summons you want. That's a perfect number. But in that same argument to validate playing one of each, you play every Infernoble is a normal summon by itself. And as long as you have like Red Layer, Flint Lady, Oliver, Renaud, they extend out into at least an Isolde or an Angelica in a way. So like there's logic behind playing one of each. It's just not my cup of tea. It's like 6 Samurai Infinite Loop combo first and Infernoble combo. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. So we'll quickly go here and show the other line with the Noble Arms Museum and the Ogier stuff. So you go ahead and activate Museum, pay 12, and I do believe you grab Durandal here. You go for Durandal. There we go. Go for Durandal. Then you normal summon the Ogier, and you go Ogier's effect to go ahead and dump the Turpin. Wherever it's at. I think it's... There it is. So you dump Turpin. You go Turpin's effect to attach. And then you go Museum's effect to special. Then you overlay for Dempsey. And you use Dempsey's effect on summon to go ahead and add Fire Flint Lady. There she is. You then activate Fire Flint Lady to special summon itself. And then you overlay the link network for Isolde. Isolde on summon will grab you your choice of what to grab. I'll just grab Red Layer just to go ahead and make it simple. Then you go Isolde's Effect, Pay and Cost, and you send Angel's Ring. You can send DDR, or not DDR, you can send Phoenix Blade, but you don't have to send Phoenix Blade because like all the interactions you have can be done with like the engine in itself. And then you summon out Ricardetto. But as you guys can see, like we're way past, we're 1, 2, 3. This will be 4th or 5th summon. Will be the Oger, or whichever one you choose to come back. And that's our 5th summon. So like this is very unprotected through Nib. But it is the line. This is the full combo that you can see. And of course, like, if they don't have Nib, it is what it is. But you go ahead and synchro here for Angelica. Angelica's effect, you go ahead and grab a second field spell. You go ahead and activate the second field spell. Go ahead and pay 12. Go ahead and get it out of the way to go ahead and grab Almas. You then go ahead and use the Oger's effect Engrave. Now see, this is where if you had Phoenix Blade, you would get to hold the Oger to the end. So it's like entirely dependent on how you want to do it, but this right here just, like I said, maximizes like what you can get. Target here, use her effect. You send Gearfried. Wherever the gear is at, there it is. So you send Gearfried. This falls off, and this banishes, and this goes into Captain Roland. Now you can go ahead and equip Durandal, go Durandal effect. Or no, don't use Durandal's effect right now. Hold up, never mind. You go ahead and special out Turpin. Then you use Durandal to grab Renaud. Then like I said, there's just different pivots that you can do. Like by grabbing Renaud, like you can end on Baron too instead of the Little Knight. But anyway, you go ahead and synchro here for Charles. You then go ahead and attach the field spell, or the equip spell Almas. You link off here into Big Charles. Charlemagne is what it should have been called. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. Go ahead and grab back the Gearfried. And this will go ahead and equip Charles. Now right here, you can field spell effect to special summon out Charles. You can special out Renaud. So here you have two options. You can grab back Almas, you can grab back Durandal, it doesn't matter. So like if you grab back Durandal here, you can then attach it to Charles and make your second Charles, or you can make Baron here, so then your inboard is Charles, Baron, Gearfried, or you go ahead and just make the second Charles, and it's Charles, Baron, Gearfried. No, excuse me, it's Charles, double Charles, Gearfried, Little Knight. So this is essentially what you do. So you add back here. If you play DD, if you played the, if you sent the Phoenix Blade, you get to, the add back's more free. Like you're not having to use the add back. So like this would just be a free card, banish 2 for Phoenix Blade, equipped, link off, right? But since you decide to send Angel Ring because you want to have your board protected, you do it this way. So then you just link here into the second Charles. That Charles will equip right here. You then go ahead and link these two off here into Little Knight. And then Gearfried, you go ahead and banish whichever one you don't want to special summon it out. So there we go. End phase, Angelica will return. You will get to pick up this Charles in particular because it has to be in a monster with an equipped. We'll pick up the Angel Ring and equip from the deck. Your choice. I always go for Oliver because like in perm, you just don't want to have them waste or just, you know, use it in perm to beta negate. So then you just equipped in right here. So there you go. That is also the Ogier and Museum line. And it only uses the one Angelica. And this is, like I said, this line isn't nib proof, but I mean, just look at the inboard. I mean, it's insane. You literally end on 1, 2, 3, 6 forms of disruption. Because this, well, since this Charles counts, we'll just count this Charles as having all forms of disruption. It's a spell trap negate, it's a pop, it has Angel Ring equipped to it, so there's 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 6 forms of disruption. Which is Ogier Museum utilizing one of Angelica. Pretty crazy. Pretty insane, personally. But again, if they got nib, they got it. Just send it, smack the rock, it'd be what it'd be. They better have it. But yep, there you guys go. That's the combo lines that I know with Ogier and Museum with just one Angelica. So like if you guys know anyone else or if you guys know lines that I don't know, feel free to comment, let me know right here. Let me know what you guys are thinking. But I like it. It lets you use Dempsey, which is pretty cool. But again, and I know like so like there's somebody, I think at one point when this was like working through this, they're like, oh well, you get gear free through it, and I was like, well, not if they nib you on your 5th summon, which is likely to happen. Like they're gonna nib you when you reach 5, so like the likelihood of you getting gear freed is kind of like slim to none. But that's okay. One thing I would like to I might look at is he was playing, I think it was Link Spider, and I wouldn't mind looking into like playing Link Spider just so like you could like make SP a little bit, because I feel like I kind of agree with Pack saying like we're into like a Little Knight format where like the entire like everyone's playing Little Knight, so like you just got, it's going to be Little Knight control sort of thing. But something that's pretty cool is I literally Friday night before even the YCS I put in Typhon because I was like, this card's too good. Didn't realize we have a glare popping in. But if you guys have any questions or anything like that, let me know about that line. So yeah, don't go pay for coaching. I'll show it to you for free if I know it. Woohoo. Like, see, like, even right now, like, with this right here, this is still, like, anti-Nibiru. So, like, we are able to beat, like, a hand trap. Pretty easy, actually. Especially opening Talents. That's why I like Talents. Talents is such a bonkers card. Like, even if we just, like, normal effect Ascend, and then, like, they end up ashing or something like that, it's like, sweet, let me just go ahead and look at your hand, rip your other hand trap. I think Talents is just a mainstay for sure. And then Almus being able to grab Durandal would allow us to like do some chinky stuff. For sure. This is my first time double sleeving, and I kind of like it. Makes my deck feel like a brick in the hand, you know? So it's like, worst case scenario, I can just hit you over the head with my deck. But otherwise, did anyone in chat go to the YCS? How was your guys' experience? I was off of Twitter that day, and I literally hopped back on Twitter and was watching just a very drama-filled YCS, I feel like. Like, at least for like Facebook and like Twitter was concerned. Like, maybe the event itself was pretty cool. Hopefully there was no like actual like live drama at the event. But I tell you what, Twitter and Facebook were on fire. Oger, Museum, Renaud, Dolphin, Gearfried. Sweetness. See, this hand's even like kind of crazy too. Because like you can go normal Dolphin, use Dolphin's effect, pitch the Ogier, and look at the hand, and then rip like a hand trap or something like that out of their hand. And then you can go like Museum, use Museum's effect to pay to search for Durandal, grab an Extender, special Renaud. Worst case scenario, if they have like double hand trap in their hand, like say you rip something, they have like 2 Ash or something like that, because it can happen. You can do whatever. I wasn't at the YCS, my man Alex. I would just recap in the YCS. I wasn't there. As should say, like recap in the term of like we're going over what had happened, because I wasn't there. I sadly could not make it. What gave me the most trouble was this damn pickup that hit me that made me to where I couldn't go to the YCS. Do you think you can play Angel Ring and Metal Silver? Oh, probably. I mean, yeah, like you definitely could, but it's probably not the most consistent thing to consider. I don't think that there's not been a scenario where like I've missed Metal Silver since Angel Rings came out. There've been a few times when like I was testing DDR over Metal Silver that I missed Metal Silver, but now that Angel Ring's out, I don't miss it at all. Like, yeah, the whole lock thing is cool. Can actually auto win against a lot of decks, but I just think that Angel Ring literally solves everything that beat this deck, Angel Ring kind of solves. Because statistically, if this deck goes first, we shouldn't be losing, right? So then the only thing we lose to are certain blowout cards like Super Poly. What's the other card that I think about? Super Poly, Droplets, Dark Ruler. We lose against all those. Well, Angel Ring literally says no to all those. And that's just, I think that deserves for it to be mainstay. It's an FT, Metal Silver is an FTK against Mana Dome. It is. It is. It's actually pretty crazy how much that card can like literally stop. And Bradamante searchable to equip the second equipped or Angel Ring if you can't dump it. That's a good point. I wish she was a quick effect, dude. I really do. She'd be like the perfect ad off of like Isolde, and then like during the opponent's turn, quick effect ditch to equip like Metal Silver would be insane. Look, yeah, man, it's crazy, dude. It is crazy. And see, like that's something that a lot of players at my locals will like let me see their hand, and they're like, "What do you think about one?" I actually like it as a side deck option. My issue that I have with Fenrir, and along with like Red Layer, which is why I talked about, I don't know if I talked about it on stream or like in a video, is I thought about maybe not playing, because I'm currently testing, I was on to 2 Red Layer, and I'm testing it at 2 right now, but play testing that Shade Brigadine card, because what Red Layer and Fenrir do is they're the first thing that has to happen. So like that's one more summon into Nibiru that I don't need to be if I open Connector. So like my thought was like if I open Connector plus like Shade Brigadine, right? Because most of the time you can, if you open, like remember there's like a combo line with like Connector and Renaud. And again, we play how many copies of like Renaud? I play him at 2 now, I've cut him down. But you play 2, 3 field, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You play like 9 copies of Renaud. So like the likelihood of like seeing these 2 cards are together. But my issue is if you have something like Fenrir or like Red Layer, these are the first thing you got to do. So you go ahead and special, and then you normal, you get Dolphin, you see the hand, you see Nib. You're already 1 summon 2 deep for the Nib. Like you can't like force the Nib on your terms. So that's just where like I think that maybe testing something like Shade Brigadine, where it's like, say this is Shade, you normal, you see Nib, you can just hold the Shade, do the combo normally, bait the Nib, force the Nib, play around the Nib, and then like you can fire off like Shaded later on a combo to be like a level 4 extender. And I also just like Shade Brigadine. But anyway, I'm rambling on about Shade. Fenrir is a great side card. I actually think that, see, I dread picking it up myself, because knowing my luck, I'll buy it and then it'll get hit. But I think three Fenrir and a Riot's Heart would be good in the side deck. So then when you're going second, you like take out the Connector package. Because Connector, even though like I truly believe Connector's okay going second, because it's like if they don't stop Connector with one of their negates, you get 2 bodies on the field. And immediately now, especially with something like Little Knight existing, yeah, you might not get to use like the first effect of Little Knight, but you immediately get to check something with Little Knight just by summoning Connector. But I do think like I'm just I don't know. Like I want to buy it because that was like the most ingenious thing I think I've seen. Infernoble Sugan? Sugan what? Or do you mean Shogun? The Shogun lock with the whole Rattan and everything. An Angel Ring. Yeah, so like I like the Fenrir stuff, Yato. But I think if I did it, it would be in my side deck as a 4-card engine to side in. I'm very peculiar with how I side. Oh my god. Who let this man in chat? Damn. You're just lucky Sugon was like close to Shogun, man. If it wasn't, I wouldn't have fell for it. I thought it was a typo. I thought you spelled Shogun wrong and you just baited me. You're banned, bro. I kid, I couldn't ban my boy. I could put him in timeout though. That would be funny, but nah. But I like the Fenrir stuff. Like, it going second, like, Fenrir just pushes. Like, even, like, Fenrir just forces so much stuff. It's ridiculous. So it's kind of like, you gotta, like, I would. How much tech do you think is too much? I don't know. I kind of been sitting happy with my 9 tech spots of where I could like 9 cards can move in and out flexibly to be like. Well, so like I think I play like 12 actually. Now I think about it. So like here's how I do it, right? So I have 9 spots, and then I have 3 cards that are mained that I could take out to put in like additional like hate, right? I have a list where I use Wanted with the Vanquished Soul. Vanquished Soul is kind of cool. I've been hearing some things about that since you get like Raisin and stuff. Raisin's a Fire Warrior. That's pretty cool. I wish, man, just tell me why. Well, I could tell you why, but tell me why they didn't make the Witch a Fire Warrior. Konami's been giving Fire so much love, but they didn't make a Fire Warrior. Come on, Konami. Again, another kind of crazy hand. I mean, like literally, like this right here is excluding tactics, right? Like this right here beats a hand trap. This is an insulated combo through gear with Gear Freedom Fjord, which is pretty nice. We opened Divine Sword, which is okay as well. Like, I mean, it's not the best to see, but I mean, it's all right. This right here actually would allow us to like dump Angel Ring instead. So like we could go like full combo and then go ahead. Because volcanics will be the best thing. Scattershot still gives me PTSD. Scattershot too good. Scattershot too good. Oger in perm. Red layer in perm. Droplet. Hot dang. Ooh, what's the number of equips you're playing? Are you playing just like the 6 to 7, right? Did you see that dude's list of the UKWC? Yes, I did. That's actually that's kind of crazy. Super Poly. Talk about a surprise catch, right? What are we getting for our 6 cards? 6 cards talents, which is not too shabby, I'd say. But I mean, like right here is like combo in itself, right? Like 6 through 7 equips, yeah. So you're playing the correct amount of equips. Like you really couldn't afford to cut. That's just such horrible luck. I'm sorry you had to experience that, my man. That is awful. But I've been on droplets because like droplets is a solid card going first and going second. Like going first, like you're able to like set it, and then you have like the field spell Angelica, some equips, you know, so like you're able to like droplets like a whole field for little to nothing. At the minimum, without touching your equips, like you're able to just do 2 for free pretty much. 3 if you count like the red layer, like what you add off of the Isolde. So like, oh, there went my card. So it's pretty crazy. I mean, like even though we opened like a lot of non-engine, like this is how like I have stuff. Like I took a page out of a page out of Triff's book. So like now going first, like I still have combo. Worst case scenario, I have like literally 3 forms of disruption if I get messed with. But if I was going second, I literally have hand trap, which I wouldn't count like these, but like this is like my going second stuff, along with a draw into like droplets too, or not a draw into like tactics. So like literally, as long as I can send my whole hand and out an entire board and still play. Like that's pretty cool. Were you at Richmond? Also, I assume you saw packs list. I was not at Richmond. I was not, sadly. My life did not allow me to go to Richmond this time. My life was not in the budget. I did see PAX list. I did. We have these people that are working back to the red layer. I was back on red layer like 2 weeks ago, man. Before Pack made it cool, I was on red layer again. I was playing 2 of them. Because I was testing a theory that Triff Triff didn't make a theory with Infernobles, but Triff made a theory with like Manadium, and I wanted to test it, like try to see if I could like cross it over to like Infernobles, and that's what I've been on since. And so far in my testing, I've liked it. So another great hand. I mean, yeah, another phenomenal hand. So like this hand right here allows you to beat hand traps just by opening these two. Or at least you get like your combo insulated through Gearfried, which is better than like which is better than just opening any two warriors that just get you to Isolde or something like that. So like at least like you get protection. And then we have like in-perm tactics and stuff like that. And then if we go second, of course, like double Ogier is not good. But again, like you can normal Ogier, force it. Well, I mean, I don't know how. I think if I was going into a board, I would go Chalice, grab Durandal, grab Red Layer, special Red Layer, normal Ogier, no Ogier, get a response from no Ogier would have to get a response. This would be gone because I'd either fire this off right away or I'd hit them during their turn with something. And then even if they like negate destroy Ogier, I can special Renaud and Renaud add back something, tactics to bait something. Whatever it do be. But yeah, like post commentary of like PAX top 8 will be coming out tomorrow about noon. Then I have an awesome short coming up that just blew me away. One of my buddies played Nuvellas. Bash Pack in chat. He played Nuvellas at his locals, and Lava Golem has our buddy Kyle, and ended up just taking a spatula and flipping off his stuff. I thought it was hilarious. We have like my neighbors getting like roof work done on his roof, and it's been kind of hard. Like I hear knocking, that's why I stop. I'm like thinking, is someone knocking on my door? Is it like the person on the roof next door? I don't know if you talked about it already, but what are your thoughts on the 12 hand traps that was on PAX list? So 12 hand traps is a lot. If you notice Pack as a player, I very seldom don't see him not playing like 12 plus hand traps in a deck. So like it's just his play style versus like technically like my play style. 12 is a lot, but for what Pack went to do, it was, I think, enough. But because you saw a lot of times on stream, he was drawing into like Effect Veiler and stuff like that, whereas like I would much rather draw into Engine. But he went under the assumption that he was going to go into like he was going into the assumption that it was going to be a slog fest, right? He wanted his hand traps to stop or slow down his opponent, so he wanted to see as many of them as he can. I personally am like I'm weird, man. Like I have 9 flex spots that could be hand traps, and then I have 3 spots that I can cut post side to put in more hand traps if needed. So technically, I have the same amount of spots that he does. So like I think that my philosophy and what this current list that I have right now is doing is I've forsook hand traps outside of in-perm, because my bad luck, I always rip like Branded will go full combo, draw for turn, I draw Ash. Like sweet. Or like go full combo, the first card I draw is Nib. And it's like, wow. So I decided to build my deck according to my bad luck. So that's why like I'd much rather draw Droplets when I lose dice roll and go second, because Droplets off the top is a lot better than Ash off the top. I really like talents. I'm on 1 thrust 2 talents, and now it's working very well. Sweet, my man. I've always been. I feel like talents is like fits in this deck so perfectly, because like for lack of better terms, you can play with your opponent in the sense of like you dolphin rip something, trigger an effect or something like that, and then like use tactics. It's pretty cool. Trauma deck building. That's what it is. Your content has helped me learn this deck a lot. Thanks. No problem, my man. Like that's what we're here for. Again, none of my stuff is ever gospel. Just take the knowledge I have and apply it. Can you show the cards you usually side out and side in? Yeah. I got you, brother. So I normally side out. Where is it at? So I normally side out. And then there's one more. There you go. So, oh, no, not connector. Not connector. It was supposed to be Oger. So I side out these 3 when I know I'm going second. And then I put in any card. So there's 3 cards that can go in. And then normally, I know it's kind of controversial, But I actually side out when I know that I'm going second. Tactics and Call by the Grave. So I have 6 cards coming out that I can put 6 cards in, is what droplets and talents instead of hand traps. That's just my, yeah. And you know what? Nothing, I mean, no dissing hand traps, because nothing feels better than opening, having, being able to interact with your opponent. But Pack showed in his top 8, twice, he showed that how one hand trap perfectly timed on a bad hand can end an opponent's turn, but any other time, if the opponent opens anything to mediocre, one hand trap just isn't enough. To get the full plays that droplets are interesting, guess I'll give them a try next locals. Droplets was just like, I guess technically you could play Dark Ruler no more, but droplets was just something that I think since it's chainable and you have a lot of extra resources to be able to play, like technically speaking, like you can droplets your whole hand away, and as long as you have like connector, you're able to play. But these are like the normal cards that I side out. So then I side out like Malgus, because I don't want to see Malgus when I'm going second. I side out a copy of Ogier. Angel's Ring is not, good going second. And the talents and stuff go out for like such. I'll show you guys my side deck. Again, side deck's trauma based. So like if I know I'm going against like Pearly or something, like I'll side in Gamma Seals or something. Because I would much rather draw Gamma Seal than a Nib. As my 6th card, of course. So then that's like that answers that. Like Crows for the tier, because I hate tier. Drolls. I still hate back row decks, so I still am on like these right here, Lightning Storms and stuff like that. But like these cards might change because back row decks outside of Lab aren't too good. But currently, like my side deck is just straight for going second, because I feel as though, like, especially now that Angel Ring is out, we don't need cards like Judgment or anything like that to stop those blowout cards that break our boards, because Judgment will do it anyway. And we play and like, since I'm playing one card short of playing the max amount, because arguably if you wanted to like always open Ogier and Renaud, the gear-free safe line, you'd max out on like Renaud, but I'm only playing 2 Renaud instead of 3. I'm playing pretty close to the max amount that you can see Ogier and like Renaud, so like Nib isn't a fear for me. I do not fear Nib as like some players do, because like I'm maximizing out on like the ability to open Ogier plus any way to Renaud. But that's like my side. Like if I know like I'm going into like a tier matchup, like hands down Crow will go in. Crow, and I know they play like traps and stuff like that, but I am not Incandescent. I'm playing Angel's Ring. But these are the 6 cards that I normally take out. And so like these 3 cards are 3 of the 9 flex spots that I talk about, and these are the 3 engine cards that also come out, making it technically 12. Just play Link Spider. I mean, technically you're right, bro. I just could play Link Spider and then continue on. I've actually thought about probably will. Link Spider's probably going to go in, because especially since Little Knight alone can just win you games, man. Like, why not play Link Spider? So I can turn my beautiful Nib token here just into it. And I have an ulti Link Spider too, so I should put it in. But the only, like I had Link Rebo because I was doing it because I knew like Rescue and Sprice were starting to give people Ibly. So I just wanted to be able to like take that free monster, turn it into a trap negate, and then like I can 1-for-1 with Rescue Ace with this card. I could like put Isolde here and still combo, and then like if they try to interact, like I can Link Rebo. But that's not super popular at the moment. So like Ling will probably come out for Link Spider. But yeah, for the most part, like you can do that. You can 100%. Yeah, they give you a nib, you smack a nib on you. The worst feeling ever is like when you do like the safe Gearfried line and like they go nib, chain Gearfried, chain Imperm, and then you just cry. But I mean, it is what it is. Like that's just how the game goes sometimes. But Link Spider wouldn't be bad because it just lets you turn like any turns like that nib board lets you just do that. You do, Master. Oh man, you do. You do. It's kind of crazy that this card, like, you don't need it, but if you play against someone who has it, you're such at a disadvantage, it feels like. I don't think 2 SPs are needed. I know that Pac was talking, like, Pac went into it being like, he was like, SP is really good in a control game, and that's something that his list was very good at, was that it could be combo nobles or just mid-range nobles, which sounds so weird to say, but mid-range nobles, which would be like SP plus like hand traps. So like I get it. What's your extra deck now? My extra deck now is just like Little Knight, Boxer, Roland, Isolde. Let's see here. I'll just lay it all out. These cards I keep because I like. And then like Typhon and stuff like that. So like this is my extra deck, and like the only thing that's really honestly needed, like I think there's a lot of freeform in the extra deck, but the only thing that I think is truly needed is pretty much right here. And argue, Little Knight isn't really needed, but like you're at such a disadvantage, so technically you have like 6 spots that you can like flex around and play with what you want, but it really is. It's nice to not be like super restricted. Like I enjoy Arthur and Joyous. Like I enjoy utilizing those cards. I enjoy it, and what they don't what do you call it? Hurt the deck, and then allows you to have like lines where you can go to like Retin, which so like some of those people are gonna be like, Retin is garbage, but like Retin's like battle phase pop is so like nice, especially with like when they like start going into like Typhon, and they don't know what Retin does. So they shuffle back one of your big monsters, and they go battle phase or something. And Retin just solves a Typhon for you, so everything's back online. But I like these guys. But like, if you're playing Joyous, you should probably, I think you should maybe like at least tech in Arthur, because Arthur and Dempsey do the same thing. But like I said earlier in the stream, Dempsey can't do what Arthur does, even though Arthur can do what Dempsey does. So like, that's just something to keep in mind. No, I don't think, you just don't want to have duels in which you need 2 SPs. Totally prefer having a rank 4 Torghast, to be honest. You could, and arguably like, this could be Baguska, so you beat Shifter. Like the extra deck is so free, like you can build it the way you want to. I ended up taking out Apo or Power Load for actually the Typhon, because it just wasn't coming up to make the big guy as much as I thought. Especially like, so like I used to make the big guy when I saw they had Super Poly, so that way I knew they couldn't super, like if I could just make the big guy plus Charles, like they couldn't Super Poly my board because of the big guy being unaffected. But now that you have like Angel Ring, you don't need it as often. Once the new Link 3 drops, the extra deck will be tight, I think. I know which Link 3 you're talking about, the Prince, right? The one that like lets you come back but locks you into fires and stuff like that. I really want to test her. I truly do. I have a feeling she's not going to be as good, because like what do we do? Like how do we get her to the graveyard? Like what's the Link 4 that we're climbing into? Because does she take a fire monster? Because if that's the case, but I mean like you just go in Little Knight. So this is why I love Little Knight and I don't like Little Knight. Because like Little Knight, right? Like Little Knight just does more. So like even if you link into the Link 3, she brings back a fire, you're locked in a fire, so you can't even like go into Little Knight. So that means you link up into a Link 4 or a Link 2 fire, which technically could be that also that Link 2 that points down, that says, or that has 2 arrows pointing down and says like you can't touch the back row or something like that. Like that'd be a good option, but again, like all that just doesn't feel right. If that makes sense. I don't know. Like I said, yeah. I don't know why. Like she's usable, but I don't think like she's necessary too. I'm just trying to, cause like there's that giant Link 4 you can make, right? But like you get Warrior locked when you use Museum's effect. So you have to go through all that combo sequence before. I just don't know, man. I don't know if she'll, like as cool as she is and I want to include her, I just don't think that she's necessary. In my humble opinion. Again, that can change. Because that's actually kind of crazy if you think about it. Like her being able to come back and pop something is pretty nice. Pretty nice, actually. I think, yeah, and something else today. Today, Pack ended up coming on to, what do you call it? Pack came on and made a, what's the build like now? My build is nothing like, like, I wouldn't say it's nothing. It's not similar. I play 3 Ogier versus like the 1 or 2. I'm on the 2 red layer. I play droplets. I play no hand traps except for Imperb, technically. I'm on like kind of like a full Syndic Go second build, kind of in the way. I miss the OG Noble Knights. Man, Alex, they need to like give that deck, like that side, the Noble Knights, like a good wave of support to where like Infer Nobles can't use it, but they can. That'd be like really sweet. When I target Angelica with Oliver to equip, then my opponent chains something. Angelica did not chain her effect. Oh, that shouldn't happen. That should not happen at all. Believe it or not, I tried playing the deck without Red Layer, never doing it again. I played it without Red Layer for a little while and I didn't mind it, but you definitely do miss just having like a free body that just kind of like specials itself out. Like that's what I really missed. And especially now that they brought up, like, if you guys have been watching all the content and stuff like that, you guys know that Red Layer has been talked about. Red Layer being able to check a lot of stuff is really nice. Like, Red Layer plus Museum, like, outs, like, Fenrir. Like, it's crazy. It's a 2500, like, free Cyber Dragon. That's cool. Apologize, guys. I gotta stretch my leg. My leg is, my leg gets cramped up every now and then because of, my fist fight with a Tacoma. I think if you're not on OSS, you should 3 Red Layer or 3 Fenrir. OSS. My brain is literally drawing a blank. Does that like the Sinful Spoils, right? Silly Senor. What's your thoughts on the Cash Fenrir Rise Heart some players are siding? I actually like that a lot. So like I'm very OCD when it comes to siding. And Jake Rome's, hey man, no, that's something that's also interesting. 1 second, Inconducted. I'll get to you in a second. JK Rome's is that everyone like is now like afraid that Isolde will get hit. Original Sinful Spoils. Thank you. I just was drawing such a blank. That everyone's like, oh, Isolde might get hit. It's like, man, the time for them to hit Isolde was literally when Dark Warrior and Goki was around. Like, that was the time to hit Isolde. Now, it's all right. There's no need to even touch Isolde. But anyway, Inconducted. I like siding the Fenrir stuff or like the theory behind it, because technically speaking, Connector and Dolphin, this package, the Connector and Dolphin package, doesn't do super good going second. Like, I believe that it's not as bad as people make it out to be, but it's not that good. But Fenrir and Rise Heart, it just is tremendously. So there's 4 cards that I can immediately put in and immediately replace, right? That can come out. So I like it. And then you were saying if you're not on the original Sins, you should be playing 3 Red Layer and 3 Fenrir. I agree to an extent. I think 3 Red, like I said, I'd like to test, because there's nothing that would suck more than opening like 2 Red Layers, right? That just kind of sucks. And that's why I think like the 3 extenders, and like you can arguably play 3, but where is she at? Come here. Fireflint Lady. These are the 3 like non-Infernoble Fire Warrior extenders, right? That's why I would like to possibly like look at testing like Shade Brigandine again, simply because then that means if you open like any 2 names, you have combo. Whereas like if you open just like here, you know, like you don't have nothing, or if you open, I mean, that's one of these Red Layers will be dead in your hand. Whereas if it happened to be like Shade Brigandine, it's not dead, right? Yep, my man Brigandine. I went looking to see if I could find my shiny one, and I can't, and I'm very upset, and I think I know exactly where it went. It went to our trip in Utah. I'm gonna put Butterspray. Hey man, Butterspray, there you go. You live in way back when. Drop was just nice, man. Like, I used to like not be a fan of it tremendously, but like this deck really, because I didn't want to like discard hand advantage, but truly, like I said earlier, as long as you open Connector, those other 4 or 5 cards in your hand, doesn't matter. 4 of the secret rare, shiny. Hey, man. Hey. Why don't we work something out? See one without burning Durandal. I agree. Yeah, I agree. You want the consistency of opening it. And hey, man, some people sleep on this, but now this... So I remember back in the day, way back in the day, I said that Red Layer plus like Oliver was kind of crazy because you'd special out this, you could normal the Oliver, and hard synchro for Charles, like right off the bat, right? And then you could hard synchro for Charles, and then use the Oliver to attach to Charles and pop a card. And that was still, and like in some, what do you call it? Simplified game states, this was crazy. Well, now it gets even better because now you can turn this Charles into Emperor Charles and do the same, and like do more with it. It's kind of crazy. What rarity rotor are you using post rarity collection? I would love to use the ultimate rare, but I was unlucky enough to get it. But I'm currently using the prismatic secret, which I think something about like the letters in it, like how they like the name, it looks really good. I played Droplet at Richmond and didn't see it once. Bro, that's so... That's how it goes, though, man. That's really how it truly goes. Like, there'll be so many times, like, me and my buddies will get together and we'll test. Even my buddy Caleb is in chat. He'll validate. Like, we're trying to test certain cards, and we'll test all night and not see it once. And it's just like, well, I guess, if I'm too broke for Little Knight, you can play cards like Rattan is probably the best, or you can play Flame Swordsman. Collector's Rare and Ultimate are like my favorite rarity. My Call by the Grave is Collector's. I would like to arguably get the Reinforcement of the Armies. The Droplets I don't really mind too much. This card, guys, come on, Konami. Konami needs to give us this card in a shiny. I wouldn't mind having triple talents and, what do you call it, and Collectors, but Secrets are okay with me. My whole deck is pretty much shiny. I need to pick up 25th Century field spells, and then like the whole Infernoble stuff is maxed out. I cited Droplets at Richmond and never wanted to add it. I cited Valor's though. That card was a champ, man. Man, Valor was kind of putting in work. I remember I was saying how I kind of wanted to play Valor's because like during the end phase, sometimes you can Malgus draw and you draw in perm, you're like, well, shoot. Whereas if you draw Valor, you're sitting happy. But if you saw like Pack's video or Pack stuff, he literally drew Valor for a 6th draw, and I was like, that sucks. Let's see here. I rock a French Hobby League Rhoda, Chef's Kiss. All right, I see how you are. I'm just psyched Cash is sidelined. Bro, me too. Cash needs to be gone. I run Flame Swordsman and SP in my build. So here's my man. I only recommend if you want to play Rattan over Flame Swordsman, not because I think Rattan's better. Well, I think he is, but because of the 2 arrows that Rattan points down. That's what gives Rattan a better edge, is because then you can make double Charles, whereas with the Flame Swordsman, you can only make 1 Charles. My CR Griefer will arrive within the next 1 or 2 days. I'm just hyped. Bro, that's good. The Ulti Road is cheap, like $4. Dang! I need to look into it then. That's actually pretty nice. BRB going to switch my laptop. You think Divine Sword good? I don't think so. I pulled SP Typhon and Arius in my sneak peek packs. Bro, I don't want to talk about how much I spent just to pull a common Angel Ring and a Little Knight. It's just Floodgate Turbo now. And sometimes plays Grin. You know about Green Manju? Please don't tell me, is it playing Green Manju? All the banishing and stuff like that, and then you just normal summon a 10k Green Manju and whack? One of my buddies is trying to get me to go to, what's your opinion with the 3 Oger plus Oliver versus 2 Oger plus 2 Oliver? Oh man, you're going to ask me, is 2 Durandal such the new ratio? I believe so. I think you can get away with playing 3 Durandal. I just cut it down for Angel's Ring to keep like that 6 to 7 count for equip spells. God, I don't know, man. So like, we're going to put this on repeat. So the way this deck inherently beats hand traps is by always getting access to these 2 cards right here. Oger plus Renaud gets gear free before your 5th summon, before your Isolde, before your Angelica. So you want to optimize the ability to see these this 2-card combo when you don't see Connector. So then you conflict with like the probability and statistics, because if you play 3 Ogier and stuff like that, right? Even with the Phoenix Gearblade coming, I mean, it might, but like, the deck's just not doing enough to justify them hitting it. Right? Like, with Gearblade will have to be the replacement for the Divine Sword, and it changes a lot of divine lines, a lot of lines that Divine Sword gave us, but I just don't think it's worth being hit, because clearly what made this deck great had nothing to do with what it could already do. It was like them playing the Sinful Spoil package. Like, if you take everything away from it, I believe someone with knowledge and a good player like Pack playing it without the Sinful Spoils could have done just as good, yes. But the fact that all the decks that did good was playing the Sinful Spoil package shows to me that it's not Phoenix Blade that's the issue. It's not Isolde that's the issue. It's that damn Sinful Spoil package that they decided to make so generic. But anyway, back to the OCG question. I like playing Ogier at 3 because you want to either see Ogier or Connector, right? Those are the best normal summons the deck has. And you don't want to reduce the ability of seeing like this 2-card combo, in my opinion, because like I said, it doesn't matter how many hand traps you play, it doesn't matter what defensive cards you play. If you don't play any way to stop a hand trap, which you can only play like Call by the Grave as your only way to stop it, this deck will just eats hand traps. It's just a combo deck. We're just going to get smacked with Ash, Imperm, Valor, Nibiru, everything. So by playing Ogier and Renaud, or by playing out the consistency of playing these guys at like higher than 1, you're able to increase your odds of seeing that combo sequence that allows you to beat those hand traps, except for Imperm. I know the Sinful Spoil package has like a line with, what is it? Sublimation Knight, where you're able to play like make Baron, which I think is insane, which kind of makes me wish that Konami would do something. I don't wish this truthfully, but like in the back of my mind, I like wish they'd like do something like Connector and Dolphin. Really, I don't want them to do anything with it because I just bought Ultimate Dolphin, but like they do something to that, so we're forced to play 3 Sublimation Knight. We're not forced to, but like we can play 3 sub and then play the Sinful package, so we're more consistently able to do like a 2-card line where it's like which plus sub is able to get you to like combo under Baron, and then you have like Ogier plus Renaud able to get you combo under Gearfried. It'd be pretty cool if you ask me. But then would you even play sub? Would you just move to the boxer package? Would you play the Battling Boxer stuff over Sublimation Knight? Because a normal summon Spar does get you the counter trap. I mean, yeah, it's like not needed anymore, but it's still a plus, whereas like Sublimation Knight just equips from the deck. The Squeak Knight. Hopefully, maybe one day. And Sublimation Knight looks so damn cool too. It's such a shame that that's not our normal summon because we just have a better one that's out there. Isolde is still OP. It's just a +2 and dumps on cost card is crazy. Is just Hulk for nobles. Exactly. I mean, but there's your thing. It's just Hulk for nobles. It's only for one deck. And it's only for our deck currently. I mean, you could probably go out and make, what do you call it? You could go out and probably make like a warrior pile or something like that. And Isolde will definitely be like one of the center points of it, but and it's not even that like there's tons of lines without Isolde or whatever it is that you don't like. Sometimes you're not even making Isolde, which is interesting. I've been shameless plug. I've been on to Team Sam's Supreme Pro Makonko. There we go. Thank you, Jose. They do use it. But I mean, they're a warrior deck too. That's correct. So I mean, like, and Makonko is seeing quite a popular increase as well. So I mean, maybe. But they could also, again, it just brings things to alarm. Like Makonkos could use Isolde before, right? So it's like, is Isolde really I don't think they'll touch Isolde. It just, if they do, they do it. But I really don't foresee them doing it. The time to hit Isolde has long been past. The time in which it was being played in every degenerate deck or something like that, like Dark Warrior and stuff, it did more busted stuff back then than what it's doing now. But, only time will tell. I've been on, to Team Sam Supreme Pros, but I decided to oversleeve because I'm starting to get a lot more of expensive cards. So, I really wish Imperium Duelist would make, the white with the inner wine sleeves again, because I would definitely use those. But right now, these are just Dragon Shield oversleeves. Yeah, Makonko's kind of crazy, though. Makonko... My buddy at Locals plays. It's just kind of like... What it does is kind of like unique and wacky. And I do know they use Isolde, right? They use Isolde, dump, and equip, and grab Oliver. Oliver to grab the equip. Or not Oliver, Renaud to grab the equip. Where's my man Bash? Bash is actually our Makonko guy. He could correct me. But Museum is always great. Chalice, Imperm, Droplet, and Oger. You say Makonko? I did say Makonko. Pretty solid. Combo, plus if we're going second, that's even better. That's like insane right there. And like this would already be engraved because arguably you should hold a, what am I correcting? Oh, you correct me, like the Makonkos use Isolde to dump any of their equips and then Renaud to fetch the equip. That's what Isolde's purpose is in that deck, is to get like the water Epicross, whatever it is, from the deck. Oh, that's still kind of insane. And then see like this board here, like arguably like we go full combo, right? And you're able to set like droplets. You have the field spell up here plus like Angelica. So like the bare minimum, you can droplets, send the field and send Angelica. And even this Imperm in your hand if you really want to. And that's 3 negates. Like you're negating 3 things. And that's not even using like whatever your inboard is. Apollosa, Charles, Gearfried, Baron, whatever. That's why I like droplets in this deck. That's the theory behind why I'm playing droplets. Kin and Jin, yeah, that's right. Kin and Jin. You were telling me that at lunch today, how like you can now like you can summon both of them, so like you can draw 2 and discard 1 and make the opponent discard 1. Pretty crazy. Checking out another hand here. Durandal. Droplet. Now I'm seeing Droplet, but like when I go to test or something like that, I'll never see Droplet. I'll get like my back broken. Connector. Museum. All right. Hand's kind of crazy. Simply just normal summon. Use the effect. And then, like, if they hand trap here, you have follow-up in the form of this. Which is pretty nice. Like this right here, this follow-up. Durandal's always nice to be a good follow-up because, like, we can go grab Flint Lady and then, like, Flint Lady combo. If we don't, like, can you show a line that got Nibiru? That gets Nibiru? I can, like, right here, I can show you, like, this hand right here, as, like, pretty much right here. Like, this is a line, like, lets us play through Nibiru. We either put up Apollosa, either they would put the opponent on Nibiru on our 5th, or we make it Apollosa. And that's without even using, like, these cards right here. I mean, technically, I can go ahead and just, like, show it. So, like, you normal summon there right here, use the effect. Summon out Dolphin. Wherever the Dolphin is. Yeah, so you summon out Dolphin. Just take, it's just the same connector plus anyway to Renaud. Dolphin effect, I'll go ahead and pitch Ricardetto. You look at the hand, we see that they have Nib. So then we can go ahead and go use Durandal here to grab Renaud. Or Renaud, whatever. I'm not French, maybe someone who's French can correct me. And then we go ahead and go here. We make Isolde. Isolde's effect. We'll go ahead and grab just red layer. Effect, you go ahead and you send 4. So we'll send 1, 2, 3. You have to send DDR and Phoenix Blade for sure in this line. So you go ahead and send these guys. You summon out Ogier. Normally, if you didn't, since I opened Ricardetto, we just sent it with the Dolphin. But like if you did, you would dump Ricardetto here. So you can actually send Turpin here if you want. Can you show Sinful Spoil Fenrir through Nib? I don't think Fenrir can play through Nib. I think because Fenrir puts you one summon too late, but the Sinful Spoil package, you're able to like hold it. You're able to like do your combo and then like you just go Sinful Spoil stuff, or you get like the spell card, right? The original Sin or whatever, and then you just make the token into Link Spider and send it off to summon out Ricardetto and combo that way. But anyway, you special here. This is our 5th summon. We add back right here. And then they end up nibbing us, because if they don't, we're just able to go ahead and make Apollosa for 3. So they're going to nib us. So we get our nib token here. And then technically we could like make Link Spider if we were playing it. But we're just going to pretend we're going to go DDR effect. Or not DDR. We're going to go Divine Sword effect. You got to make sure you banish Ricardetto, and we'll just go ahead and banish Isolde. Then you DDR, pitch, summon back. This summons out right here. And then you synchro into Angelica. Go ahead and grab a field. On how worth it is to play, a way to play Burl Savage. Just a small question on how worth it is to play a way to Boral Savage Dragon on the 6th summon without normal summoning. I don't know if we can do it. I mean, I'm sure we can do it, but I think it's probably too far and few between to justify. Look at that, all 3 heritage stuck together. I use wanted plus stake your soul. Hey, stake your soul's in the same card too. Get raising. And then like we can just start doing the ban. We can start just abusing this card. I'd imagine, man, it just lets you play through because Fenrir grabs you a free, like Fenrir searches you a card and it's a free discard for the Witch. So you just combo like you normally would, eat the nib, and then you just use the wanted, search Witch to pitch whatever you searched off of Fenrir, and then combo that way. Would be my guess. I know that if you hold the Sinful Spoil package, and like you don't have to, and you don't use Ricardetto, like you just combo until they nib you, and then you just use the Sinful Spoil package, bring out Ricardetto combo, like pretty much doing what I'm doing now. Go here. Effect to go ahead and send. We'll go ahead and send Gearfried. Banish for Roland. Activate the field spell effect. We've already used Dirindal, so we'll go ahead and grab... We might as well just grab Almus. Equipped here. Use Turpin's effect that we sent because we opened Ricardetto. Go here for Charles. Effect of the Almus to grab back here. Let's see here. We can actually go and use, Oger effect to equip. Link here for Emperor effect to attach. Effect to special. Effect of Roland Engrave to attach. Then we just link down into the second Charles. And then Gearfried by banishing any of your equips that you want to banish. Summon the Gearfried. And there we go. And then, of course, since we opened like droplets in this scenario, we can set droplets. In phase, Angelica returns. Put her over here. Actually, I put her right here. And the reason I'm going to say put her here in this zone, right here, is so like when they if they try to anima you, it triggers her. What do you say to droplets plus enemy controller in the main, but less than the hand traps? I'm actually playing droplets in the main. I'm just not playing enemy controller. And I've taken that theory from, what do you call it? Triff, actually, from Triff. But anyway, finish here so I can get this done. This will grab here. Go here. And then equip from the deck, Oliver. So this is playing through the nib. So like connector plus any way to Renaud gets you through this. And like I said, sometimes people won't even, they should now, because like packs, if everyone knows this deck can play Appaloosa, so now we should be getting nibbed here. But if you wanted to, technically, I'm almost, yeah, you wouldn't want to make, there's not you put a bait anima. That's like, exactly, man. Just leave it there. Taunt them. Go ahead, do it. And then like when they do this, you're able to just go ahead and dump Malgus, and yeah, get a free plus that way. It'd be crazy. That's just, yeah. I know that some players, or like some people, and even I get in a bad habit of sometimes putting Gearfried here, and then like I like put Gearfried here, and I should combo here, but instead I combo over here, so Gearfried's sitting here just waiting to be baited by an anima. So Angelica, though, I think Anima says target. So as soon as Anima targets Angelica, she just says, I'm out. She's like, I see ya, deuces. And you don't have to like bait anything. But like right here in this scenario, droplets. So like this is like the prime example. If we didn't want to use any cards in our hand, right? Like, so let's just exclude our hand. Technically, we can send these two. And that's 2 disruptions. And then like you have 3. You have 3, 35, 3. You have like 9,000 worth of damage plus a token if, you know, like let's just say the token gets gone. Like, because the token won't stay around. But like you still have enough for damage. Like it's kind of crazy. And they just like don't think, they're just like want you to commit a little bit more. You just smack Appaloosa here and you end on double Charles. So you end on 3 material Appaloosa and double Charles. So technically you have like 6 forms of disruption, 7 forms of disruption, I think. 3, you have 3 off of the 1 Charles and then 1 more off of the other Charles. So yeah, you have like 7 forms of disruption. And if any moment they try to push battle phase, five negates. With what we just had, 1 negate, 2 negate, 3 negate, 1, 2, 3, 4 negates plus a pop and a, yeah, 4 negates and a pop. Interesting why my stream's getting poor. But not too, like, I mean, like, it's, checking up on some message. I talked to Matt. There's a regional coming up this Sunday. One of my buddies want to go. I don't need to go because I already got my invite, but it'd be like a cool road trip. So I talked smack to one of my thing. He's talking smack, so I gotta talk some smack back. Okay, sorry, chat. Sorry, I normally don't feed into it, but had a good comeback this time. All right. You can use Angel Ring to win in time. You can. But you're paying, I think Angel Ring gains you 5 and you're paying 12. So like worst case scenario, like if there's a way for you to like get to Angel Ring. I mean, there is a way, man. Like you can go like Isolde dump, Renaud add back, equipped. Use the Ring's effect, gain 500 without even without even using a field spell. So like technically in time, like we do have plays, like if we get like finish your phase and you're in the main phase, like we do have ways to like not make it a draw. And it's safer to do that than try to summon out Dolphin and rip from the hand, especially if you don't know what they have in their hand, because then you burn for 5. I literally could see someone doing like a Dolphin play, burning for 5, then literally time gets called and they're forced to do like the whole Angel Ring stuff just so they get as a draw. Right? So like instead of drawing, they like burn for like Dolphin, no monsters, I take 5, or no monsters I can rip, I take 5. Do the whole combo to get Angel Ring, gain 5. Well, that's all I got. Time in the round, it's a draw. That'd be kind of insane. Anyone in chat going to the Omaha Regional this Sunday? Maybe chat can make me want to go to this regional. We'll run another. So again, like right here is like a good example of what I was just talking about. Prime example of a normal summon, or like we special normal. Given this hand, we don't have the ability to bait the nib. Sadly, because of, what do you call it? We can't bait the nib because we don't have access to Renault. So I'm trying to think how in the world, like if you see nib off the Dolphin here. I mean, like, yeah, so like you would summon. What's your country, my man? Where are you from? So like, and then, I mean, you probably want to pitch Malgus. Yeah, pitch Malgus. Look at the hand. You see nib. You're on 3 summons. Like, Brazil. Oh, Brazil. Okay. That is correct, Kristen. That is correct. As long as you have something that negates activations, you can hold Angel Ring to like their blowout cards. But don't forget that Angel Ring has to negate. So what that does is that means like if they try to bait you, right, and you're just like, well, I'm not going to respond with any of my Charleses because that's a bait. Angel Ring will negate it. So like it kind of like forces you to respond to the bait spells with the Charles or the Baron, so that Angel Ring can stay on the field long enough to hold out for like the blowout cards. But it's very important that when you have Angel Ring active, you watch the hand and card advantage they have. So it's like, you know when to let Angel Ring go. Like, you know, like you want to hold Angel Ring if they have like 5 cards in their hand. But like if they only have 2 to 3 cards in their hand, those blowout cards aren't going to do enough, right? So it's like you can let Angel Ring negate a bait card and then let them like dropless you for what, 2? Let them Dark Ruler you. All right, what can you do with 2 cards in your hand? You know, like Super Poly, okay. You know, it's just like, you just got to watch the field and like keep very active. But I mean, like here, right here's 3 summons, right? So I don't know if we beat this. I do not know if we beat a nib in here. In this hand currently, we did, no matter what, we wouldn't have beat nib. Now, maybe without the red layer, if we didn't summon red layer, like there's 2 summons, 3 summons, 4, maybe we could beat nib. Like maybe let's say we hold red layer, which is just bad. So it's like, here's your conflict with red layer. I mean, yeah, it seems to be the only course of action in conducting is just talents, draw 2, pray. Because there is something I am seeing, I guess. I just don't think I don't think we can. Because 1, 2, 3, 4 we'd be put on 5. I just don't think this hand beats Nib. I mean, let's go ahead and just pretend. Let's see what we would draw, right? So you special this out. You see Nib. I arguably would do this. No problem, sir. Go to 4 summons. Effect to add. I mean, you could potentially connector effect, right? Tribute. Summon the dolphin. That's your 5th summon. If they don't nib you here, you can use its effect. So you can rip them for 2 cards. And then if they decide to nib you here, we talents. Or would they... Let's see here. Would they nib you here? Would they wait for you to use Isolde's effect? Something interesting you could do, right? So let's say they nib us. Let's say they nib us. Since we have talents, right? Link this off into Link Kribo. Talents take their nib and make Little Knight. Like we could, that is an option. But I'll say they nib us on the 5th. I say they nib us on the 5th. They don't give us the time of day to even pitch the card we added. Punish us for not adding Gear Free for the follow-up. So we get nib. Talents, draw 2. And this just got us there, I believe. Because we already normal summon, right? We can go Museum Effect. Pay the cost. Yeah, this 100%. Drawing Museum plus Ogier got us to the nib. 100%. We can go Durandal Effect to go ahead and add Flint Lady. They'd be at 3, because I'm going to say we only, they wouldn't let us look at their, rip another card from their hand if they knew we could do it, right? So like they wouldn't let us do the whole, even if they don't have a card worth ripping the hand, just by using Neospace to summon out Dolphin, puts us that one step closer to force the nib. Given that we drew Museum and Museum plus Ogier just makes this like so much better. We special, tribute, special effect to go ahead and send Turpin, or yeah, send Turpin. Use Malgus effect to go ahead and attach. Use the Field Cells effect to special summon. So now we're warrior locked though. We do got to keep that in mind. And like here, like we could go back into Isolde, because since we got nibbed, you know, like strange. Interesting. There we go. Interesting. We'll kind of finish it out here since my bit rate is like going up and going down quite a bit. But we'll finish out this like hand and stuff and everything. They'd be at 3 in hand. You can't special. You don't have a warrior. Where's my warrior? The Fire Flint? Oh, you're right. Deuces. Thank you, sir. You're absolutely right. So then maybe that's not the correct grab there. So this goes back to Grave. Then the correct grab would 100% be not Flint Lady. Good eyes, sir. Good eyes. I'm a warrior in my heart. That's what it is. So then you just grab Oliver. Perfect. Oliver. Then you can, yeah, pitch here. Special, effect of Oger to equipped, effect to special, effect to send. And I think I sent Turpin already. Yep, so I sent Turpin already. Then, like, you don't even have to make Isolde here. You just literally go for the Angelica line, and you just can start going up to double Angelica. But since we opened Angel's Ring, there's no point in even trying to go for Isolde, because the only reason you want to go for Isolde is so you could dump Angel's Ring, but we already got it. And so we just go ahead and grab another field spell. And then we can go ahead and use Turpin, because I want to save Malgus to draw later. Turpin to attempt to attach her effect, dump Gearfried. Yeah, good eyes, my man, Dominic. This goes here. This will banish for Roland. Then we can activate the second field spell, pay the cost, grab Almus, equipped Almus here. And then we can special out the Turpin. And see, it's just going to be the same board we did. We got hit. However, this was entirely dependent on the 2 draws that we got. Then you can use except we might have to exhaust Oliver here if we want to get like double Charles, if we want to hold the Roland, which I guess like that's what we want to do. You know, like Oliver effect to attach. Sucks, but that's okay. Effect to attach. Field spell effect to special. Roland effect to attach. Equipped Angel Ring. And then special Gearfried. Yeah, so that's playing through a nib. That was entirely dependent on the draw 2 off of talents. But I mean, heck, that's why you play talents, right? So like when you do get nibbed. But anyway, chat, I think this will be where we wrap up the stream here. I'll do my best to stream again tomorrow, probably. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah, I'll probably stream tomorrow, too. We might go on Omega and try to grind through Omega. Test some different builds and stuff like that. But, yep, hopefully we were able to get some good communication. You guys were able to see the different lines you can do with Oger Museum with 1 Angelica, because I know some people still thought, like, you need 2, but you don't. But for sure... yeah, any comments or concerns, you guys join the Discord, stuff like that. Feel free to check out all the infernal videos. I have tons of videos up that showcase like the basic combos you need to do and stuff like that. If anyone have any other Ogier and Museum lines, like comment down below, because like those are the 2 that I know, like I said, Nib protected and one that's not. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please stay safe, stay healthy. See you guys hopefully tomorrow. This is Charles and Team COG signing out.